Hey, we're back with you, thepowervoices.com. Jesse Torero at www.thepowervoices.com. Hey, good to have you here, back on the radio, on the air, and everywhere, from the community to the world. It is a Tuesday in Southern California, and for that matter, all across America and the world, God's blue, green earth. Good to have you along with us as we kind of show off the new glasses here. You like the new rims at www.thepowervoices.com. Hey, you can check us out on Facebook.com/Jesse Torero.
I can't tell because your hair is covering up the glasses because your hair is so damn long.
Well, it's because you haven't set up an appointment to me.
Oh, I hooked you up. I hooked up.
You did?
Look at. See?
You're looking actually pretty good, man.
Yeah, right.
You were supposed to take me
Marty.
there.
Where were you Saturday?
It wasn't. I thought it was for this next Saturday.
No, I didn't set an appointment. Actually, I tried to go Friday to get a haircut, and then I had an appointment that I forgot about, so I had to leave that
You're
and
like
come
Mr.
back.
Special. You can walk in there anytime,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Just
yeah,
show
it's
up
no
and say,
appointments.
it's me.
It's no appointments. It's a barber shop, not a beauty salon where you have to make an appointment.
So
you
I
just show up.
just show up and hang out until my time?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. That's what I want to do, man.
Yeah, it's a barber shop.
I want to go to a barber shop. I need to
You
barber.
got to go see Marty. He's waiting for you.
Marty? Are you waiting for me, Marty?
Yep.
Marty, you are waiting for me. There's Marty right there.
That's his card.
Facebook.com/Jesse Torero. That's Marty. And that's Marty right there. You see, Come on, Marty. That's on powervoices.com/Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay?
Get a little closer so we can see that.
Facebook.com/the Power Voices. Is that, that right?
That's pretty good. Yeah.
We can come up here. See, mine is a little clearer.
Oh, that's because you got 14 megapixels over there.
Yeah, I got the new one.
On that Samsung. Yeah. Actually, now it's only 12. They downgraded it. But they use some software to, to upgrade it.
Ask me if I care. Just go ahead. Go ahead, ask me.
Do you care?
I don't care.
But it looks good. That's all that matters, right?
It's just got to look good.
Yeah, I understand.
I don't care what you got to do to make yourself look good. Just look good when I come to pick you up.
Yeah.
Right?
I got it.
Look good, right?
That's
smile
right.
when you're supposed to
That's
smile,
it.
right?
That's all you got to do.
Keep your mouth shut.
Plain
right?
and simple.
Right?
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Enjoy the dinner, right?
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
And the movie and the music, right?
Definitely. Right. Totally.
And don't say much.
No, I'm quiet. You buying dinner tonight? That was a setup, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. I got you. Hook, line, and sinker on that one. Okay. Hey, we're back on the air with you, and it's going to be a fun, had to stretch there, a fun-filled pack show. I'm in the studio live here in an undisclosed place somewhere near Los Angeles International Airport. Did you realize the planes that are coming in and landing from the East Coast, all planes land from east to west here at LAX. They never take off from west to east. I have never seen that. Not once. They always take off from east to west. Obviously, the ocean is there. That's where they catch the air, and it helps them get lift. But all the planes come from east to west. Do you know where the landing pattern starts for the landing pattern for LAX? When you're flying from the East Coast or Texas or Chicago or something, and you come into the landing pattern of LAX, what happens is they start descending in Arizona. In Arizona, the minute they cross the Arizona border, coming from the east or the west or the south or the north, the kind of the north, they come into that Arizona. The minute they cross, they start descending. It takes them that long to descend down to the runway here at LAX. I mean, we're talking maybe 800 miles, maybe 900 miles. You know, it's just 1,000 miles from here to Wyoming, Laramie. It's 1,080 miles. How do I know? Because that's where I sent my daughter for college when she got a full ride scholarship there. She actually had 7 schools that wanted to pay her a full ride to play soccer for them coming out of high school in 2007. And she actually had 31 schools of the 331 schools that play NCAA Division I women's soccer that wanted to give her some kind of money to come play for them. She's a goalkeeper. And she still plays in Europe and in America, and she teaches as well. She's a coach. But nevertheless, she just came back from Europe in a tour there just recently. But nevertheless, she wanted to go some other schools, and we went on a lot of travels, and then when she got to Wyoming, Laramie, Wyoming, real cowboy country, she saw some of those cowboys there, and that was it for my daughter. She said, "I'm going to Wyoming. I can shoot guns, ride horses, ride dirt bikes, ride in Jeeps and F-150 pickup trucks through the mud. I can rope cattle. I can rope sheep. I can have fresh chickens. I can do all those things, and I can even wear a 6-gun on my side if I want to. I'm going to Wyoming." And you know something? That was the best place for her. Because in Wyoming, the University of Wyoming, that's it. There is nothing around there other than Laramie, which is about 10,000 people without the students in Wyoming. There's nothing. There's nothing. Nothing but wide open land. That was the best thing. A dad could not have asked for more. I said, no problem. Full ride scholarship, no problem. 1,080 miles away from the house in Burbank, no problem. Perfect. So when you get into the Arizona and you start ascending or descending down, it takes from Arizona to get to LAX. And the reason why I bring that up, because it's like a slow pace, and a slow pace, and a slow pace, and a slow pace, and a slow pace. So you really don't know, you don't feel the plane coming down inch by inch by inch by inch by inch, okay? But when you hit Palm Springs, San Bernardino, then you start seeing the houses and the freeways and the cement and the warehouses and the big buildings and the freeways and the houses and the cement and the asphalt and the big buildings and the small buildings and the houses and the freeways and the cement and the asphalt and the sidewalks and the fire hydrants and the telephone poles. And then you start seeing the cars and the people and the cars and the people and the cars and the people. And then 360 degrees around you, that's all you see for miles and miles and miles and miles. And you say, oh my Lord, what am I coming back to? This cosmopolitan mess. And the reason why I'm talking about that, because we just got the illustrious trophy, the trophy they give out to all cities in America. We just won the greatest trophy of all time, and that is something here that I saw in the LA Times, and then I saw it in the Daily News a couple of days later. Yes, there is a paper that we do read once in a while, and for those of you not in Los Angeles, I want you to understand, Los Angeles is so huge. We do not, when we travel in Los Angeles, we don't think about miles. We think about time. Now, when you're in other cities, a lot of times you think about miles. Oh, I'm 6 miles from you, or I'm 10 miles from you, or I'm 17 miles, or I'm 39 miles, or I'm just a couple of miles. Oh, I'm just a couple of blocks. We think in terms of those types of things. But when in LA, you think in terms of time. I'm 5 minutes. I'm 30 minutes, depending on the time of the day. I could be 2 hours, depending on the time of day. I could be 15 minutes. I mean, it's time. Sometimes it takes you to go 10 miles. It takes 40 minutes to go 10 miles. Sometimes when I come over the hill from Burbank here into the Los Angeles basin to get to the station here at www.thepowervoices.com, when I hit where UCLA is, from UCLA to LAX, we're maybe talking tops 12 miles, 15 miles at the very most, okay? It's not even a marathon of 26 miles. It's like 15 miles. It sometimes takes me an hour and 15 minutes to go 15 miles, and you might as well just stay on the freeway. Don't even bother getting off on the street because it's just as bad. And if you know all the side streets and back alleys like I know, it still doesn't work. It's still just as bad. There's a certain time of the day that you just cannot get around the time. And that's how we measure time here in terms of traveling in Los Angeles. As we bring ourselves up on Facebook Live /.com, facebook.com/Jesse Terrero and AVTV Live in the Digital Broadcasting Network. And also, we bring ourselves up on YouTube Live off the Power of Voices.com, and you can check us out there either on the website or you can go to facebook.com/The Power of Voices. And
you can download the app and you can see the video on our app as well.
Okay, we got an app. We got a new app.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, tell me the app. Tell the folks the app.
Go to the iTunes store.
Right.
Or to the Google store.
The Apple Store. Okay. Yeah.
Apple Store or the Google.
Right.
And download the app.
Oh, that's
the Power of Voices. Search for the Power of Voices.
Then you got everything easy right there.
Absolutely.
Okay, I like that idea. Mm-hmm. It's a lot easier for me to talk about because I get confused with all these things. You know that. I mean, I'm mixing them all up.
We did that just to keep you confused.
I figured so. See,
give you something to talk about.
Oh, like I don't have anything to talk about?
Well, we want to make sure.
Okay, how about 424-227-9461?
There you go. You got it.
Yeah, 424-227-9461. And that's not the measurements of my body. That's the phone number. 424-227-9461. And by the way, on the way into work today, on the way into the station today, on the way into playtime today, I stopped off at El Pollo Loco. Okay? Because I needed to get some chicken. And so I had to get, my favorite is that 2-piece combo, but I had to get some breastises on there. You know, a lefty and a righty. You got to be equal. You got to have a lefty breastises and a righty breastises. So that means you got breastises, right? And so I didn't know that at Pollo Loco, if you asked for a left breast and a right breast, you would get a left and right breast. I thought when you just got breasts, they gave you just whatever they grabbed, a couple righties, a couple lefties, you know. But if you actually ask for it, you can ask for a lefty and a righty. Pretty darn good. I learned something new. And she said, well, what kind of tortillas you want? I said, a round one. And she said, okay, well, what kind of tortilla? I said, she said, well, corn or flour? I said, well, I'll take the tortilla, but I don't want roses or tulips. Yes, that's right. And I talked to her like this. Oh, sure, we're not the chicken and, hold on a second, please. Right? Just playing games, just having fun with her. And she was a real trooper. She actually laughed and played along with me. It was really fun. You know, that's the kind of fun I have all day long. I stop off at El Pollo Locos and I ask for lefties and righties. That's the culmination of my day. The Brown Beauty is on duty. We are live at 5. It's the Jesse T Show. And yes, we're straight on the point. As you enter the world according to Terrero. Now, back to the newspaper that I was trying to talk to about and got so eloquently sidetracked. Like it's not that hard to sidetrack me. Some people think I've got like ADD or something. You know, I don't know if I have ADD, but I got something going on in my head. I don't know what it is half the time, but it's going on. And it gets me to where I got to go, sometimes in a roundabout way. And, where is my article? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. This is a newspaper. There's a thing called a newspaper, ladies and gentlemen. And newspapers have information in them. Something besides, your notepad. And it's kind of saying hi to Quincy Jones Jr., who has us on. Dave Ross has us on. Dave Reels, that is. Craig Powers, Lee Michaels, Deidre have us on. Saying hi to Anahita Taquia Sanchez. I like that name. Marie Rojas Torero has us on. Tony Cox has us on. Angela Patterson has us on. And I have my clothes on. So we're all on and ready to go. Anyway, what I'm trying to talk to you about here, before I get into my topic matter, is I can't find it in the newspaper. So you know what I'm going to tell you? I'm going to tell you what we won today. We won. This is very important for those living here in Los Angeles. We won we have the top worst 6 freeways in Los Angeles. The worst freeway in LA is the 110, according to a recent study by the Department of Transportation of the United States of America, the DOT. We have the worst freeways today. The worst, the absolute worst freeways for congestion, the worst freeways for accidents, the worst freeways for tires getting flat, the worst freeways for maintenance. We have the worst on-ramps, the worst off-ramps. We have the filthiest freeways. We have the worst freeways than anybody else in America. And I will absolutely 100% agree with that. I have seen in the last 5 to 7 years, our freeways get more congested than I ever thought they would ever get. It's unbelievable how long it takes to go just 5 miles or 10 miles. It is beyond your understandability here. And on that journey, everybody is on their smartphone. Nobody is watching what's going on in front of them. And they say when you're traveling 40 miles an hour and you reach down and answer a text that comes in and you look at the text, by the time you bring your eyes back up real quick, boom, boom, you've traveled like half a football field. Is that amazing? No wonder there's so many accidents. Everybody's looking at their texts and their iPhones and their Androids and their smartphones and their tablets and their notepads and their laptops and everything else but driving. We have got to have the worst drivers that I've ever experienced anywhere else in the country, maybe the world. So, it's just amazing when you come flying in, you start dropping down from Arizona, from a flight from the other side of the country, you start seeing all these buildings and freeways and highways, all this asphalt, all these telephone poles and fire hydrants and these houses and the people and the cars and the motorcycles and the people and the cars and the motor. And you just start saying to myself, oh my Lord, I'm going to get back into that mess. And it is a mess. It's a complete, giant, big, huge, spread out like butter and margarine mess. It's unbelievable. So, look at. Please don't come to LA. Don't come here. Go live anywhere else. We don't want anybody to come to LA anymore. All right? Stay away. Don't come here because it's too crowded. It just drives me insane. And so I was thinking about, okay, well, what's wrong with Los Angeles right now? What is wrong with it? There's too many people. There's just too many people, and we don't have enough space to put them in. So everybody's getting congested now. Congested in downtown LA with all the building in Hollywood, Wilshire District, the beach areas, congested. And I was saying, my goodness. I mean, we're getting people from all walks of life, all parts of the world, everything. Now we got this Zika virus thing happening. In California, they got this Zika virus, and we got to watch out for this thing now. And it's being carried by mosquitoes. I mean, how do you know a mosquito has this Zika virus thing? Does a mosquito have a sign that says I'm carrying the Zika virus? Is it like a Zika-looking mosquito? How do you know? You get bit by a mosquito, and all of a sudden you die. I mean, really? And I came across an article in the Daily News today about the LA River. And I said, Los Angeles River? What river are they talking about? Are they talking about the river called the gutter and the sewer? Is that what they're talking about? Wait a minute here. Oh, the LA River. Those giant cement rivers that run all through Los Angeles and Orange County. That's what we're talking about. The giant LA River system. And there's 2 or 3 areas here in LA City that they've reclaimed the river put dirt in there and rocks, and they got vegetation, natural vegetation growing. They got the water that comes down there into the river and filters over the rocks and then goes in down the river some more, and some more water comes into the river, and then it gets down by Griffith Park. And Griffith Park, they got this like sanctuary area and the green stuff in the middle of the river, and the river's so pretty, they kayak and all this stuff. And I scratched my head when they put that whole thing together, and they're still putting it together, like $1.3 billion worth of stuff that they're going to do in there. And I scratch my head and I say, well, wait a second. Where does that water come from? It's not coming from the Sierra Madres. It's not coming from Los Angeles National Forest. It's not coming from some lake. It's not coming from some freshwater tributary. It's not coming from anywhere except people's hoses that are hosing off their cars and whatnot down the gutters, into the sewers, and into the waterway, into the rivers, and down the rivers and out to the ocean, or into these reclaim centers where they recondition the water. And I said, that doesn't make sense to me. It's not logical. It's not logical. It doesn't make sense. You got polluted water going down the river with people who have kayaks, and they're doing the kayak thing down the rivers now, right? And so now you got this polluted water and this kayak stuff. So what they decided to do in the last couple of days here, they decided that they were going to take water samples. So for the last year, they've been taking water samples up to a couple of days ago of the river. And what they're looking for is fecal matter. Well, fecal matter is human waste, or fecal matter is waste. You know, poop. Poop. That's what it is. Simple. It's poop. Okay? So now they decide, well, they're going to check for poop control. So they got guys in rubber suits out there walking through the water, dipping their filter sticks, into the poopy water to see if there's any poop in the poopy water. And if there's too much poop in the poopy water, they're not going to let anybody go in there with the kayaks because they could get sick. Well, as far as I'm concerned, if there's one floating log down the river, I'm not going in the river. Because where there's one floating log, there's another one. I mean, what brainiac put that river together to make it some water sanctuary? Are you kidding me? Really? Duh. Uh-huh. Sure. That was really smart. Well, they found out that the water is unhealthy. So now they got to figure out what to do. And that's what they're doing. See, that's government for you. That's government. It was the government that built the freeway system out here in Southern California. A combination of the government and a coup de grace with the oil companies and the rubber companies, that they got rid of our transportation, which at one time our transportation in Los Angeles and Southern California was the finest transportation for a megalopolis, huge suburban area in the world. We had the red car, the green car. We had subways, we had electric trains, we had trains, we had all kinds of ways to get around that would drop you right at the door. Industry was built around these areas where people would be able to take the train and the overhead and the electric car and the red car and the blue car and the green car. They could take these things and get dropped off at their work, okay? And then in the 1940s and the 1950s, they got rid of it all. Got rid of them all. All of them. All of them. So unlike what San Francisco looks like now, you know, with the streetcars and the electric transportation systems with the wires kind of, you know, 40 feet up. We used to have that here. We don't have that anymore. So they made these freeways. They made these freeways. This is government working for you. This is government, a combination of local, state, and federal. Because there's federal DOT dollars that were put in to make these transportation systems. They decided to put the freeway system in here in Southern California. The freeway system. Freeway. A way that's free. A freeway. Unblocked by left and right-hand turns. Unblocked by lights. A freeway. A way to go free. through the city. Okay? And they put in not all the freeways. They left out two freeways for the San Fernando Valley, one freeway for the San Gabriel Valley, and another freeway system for the Los Angeles Basin. So there were 6 freeways that didn't go in, approximately 5 or 6. And they didn't go in because they couldn't get rid of the houses that were there. It became too politically incorrect, eminent domain. So they just kind of let those freeways not be finished and cut them off, and that was it. So we got like 6 less freeways in our freeway system. Oh, but don't worry. Don't worry. It only takes 15 minutes to go from Burbank to downtown Los Angeles. That's roughly 21 miles. And it did. I remember when it took like 30 minutes. Okay, now it takes like 2 hours and 30 minutes. All right, because now there's too many people that have congested the freeways due to wonderful planning by our United States government, our government in the state of California, and our government in the city of Los Angeles and county, all working in cahoots together to get rid of the finest transportation system, one of the finest in the world. Government. Don't you love them? Big government. Don't you love them? Big government allowing the spread of this megalopolis to build out all the farmland as far as you could see when you come flying in on an airplane. So far that they start descending from Arizona, and then you start seeing everything in Palm Springs, what Los Angeles is about. Unbelievable spread. Okay? Government. Big government. Great community planning. Oh, how wonderful. Don't you love it? Oh, wait a second. The state of California is a left-wing liberal state. A democracy. Wait a minute. In Detroit, they had a democracy, a democratic government since the early 1960s and completely destroyed Detroit. Have you been to Detroit lately? Yeah, go there. They're trying to rebuild it into like a Silicon Valley thing, and they're probably going to do it. It's going to be the greatest comeback story of all time. But then it's also Republican now. But under the Democratic rule for 50 years and the Democratic bosses, we're talking about organized crime. We're talking about corruption in the mayoral system and the government system. We're talking about the guy that got himself whacked and nobody even knows where he is. You know that guy, the American Auto Workers Union president. They can't find him anywhere. Never find him. We're talking about corruption at the highest levels in Detroit. Over 50 to 60 years, they finally broke that town where they lost, 2/3 of their population? Tore down tens of thousands and tens of thousands and tens of thousands and tens of thousands of homes and buildings. It's so bad around there, they got packs of dogs, wild dogs running around. And wild cats. It's bad enough getting chased by wild dogs. But if you get chased by wild pussy, that's right, pussycats. Can you imagine some guy running down the street? I got the wild pussy chasing me. Hundreds of wild pussy. Wild pussy's chasing me. Oh my God. Oh, I got to get away from the pussy. The pussycats are chasing me. Right? Man gets eaten by wild pussy cats. Detroit. Bad enough getting chased down by wild dogs. Man. Democrats. Don't you love them? Chicago. My hometown. Chicago is my kind of town. Chicago is a razzmatazz and all that jazz. Da 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 da. I love Frank Sinatra. I do. I just love him. He should have wrote a song for Los Angeles. I mean, he gave New York a song. That was actually Liza Minnelli's song. He gave Chicago a song. Tony Bennett gave San Francisco a song. And what do we get? We got Gary Newman, who gave L.A. a song. That was one of the most depressing songs I ever heard in my lifetime. Man, I wanted to take a gun and go jump off the Los Angeles 10,000-foot mountain. You know? I mean, God, that was depressing. That's what we got. Why couldn't we get a hopscotch and kind of jazzy pop and rock song or something in Los Angeles? I mean, come on. Anyway, so Chicago. They got so many murders going on in Chicago right now. It's unbelievable. They got so many murders. I think there's like 2,000 murders. Let me give you a perspective here. In Los Angeles, I think there's only been a couple of hundred murders this year. Like 300, 200. But in Chicago, there's thousands. They're murdering everybody. It's like Murderers Row. And I'm not talking about baseball. Murderers Incorporated. And I'm not talking about Bugsy Siegel, Myron Lansky. I'm not talking about these guys. They got murdering going on everywhere. And it just seems to me that the bad guys are murdering people with guns. But they have the strongest gun control in Chicago. Go figure. Really? Just seems to me that bad guys always get guns. And bad guys, when they got guns and they know they can't get shot, they run around with impunity, then they just become bad guys. I don't know. I think the good guys should have guns too. That's what I think. www.thepowerofvoices.com. Jesse Terrero with you. And we're just talking about government right now across this great nation we call America, USA, where we should all speak English. I don't care if you want to speak 14 different languages. Come here to this country and learn English. Thank you very much. What happened to that? What happened to why we got to learn Spanish? Why do we got to learn Spanish? Why do we have to learn Chinese? Why can't we just learn English? Why don't anybody else that come here speaks in English? Why do I go to the DMV and see 49,000 different languages? Oh, maybe that's why our congestion and our driving is so bad. Because everybody's learning how to drive in their own language. Oh, my goodness. I don't mind learning a lot of languages. I think that's great. But when in Rome, act as the Romans do. I don't know why we have to let our laws down for everybody else in this crazy world. Never understood that one. Go to Russia, you're not speaking English in Russia. You go to China, you're speaking Mandarin. That's right. If you don't speak Mandarin, you get tossed out. Your company ends. Like Uber. Uber just left China because they can't compete with the Chinese social, capitalistic, communistic government. It can't compete. Too much red tape. Everybody's got to learn Mandarin. You don't learn Mandarin, you don't have a business in China. So when in Rome, act as the Romans do. Uber's no longer there. They washed their hands, sold out their company to a Chinese company that they were in competition against. Took a little piece of the action, come back home. Apple's not having the best of time. Google left. As China grows, they're not going to need any American companies. They have their own corporations. They're saying by 2025, China's military is going to be larger than American military and will be able to confront us anywhere in the world. Yeah. Mutual assured destruction. A new Cold War is coming into play. No one's going to ever drop nuclear bombs. Too dangerous. But China's going to flex its military muscle. What do they got? 2 billion people? They got, what, 300 million people in their military and reserves? That's our whole population. When in Rome, act as the Romans do. When in America, act as Americans should. Politics, government. We should all speak English and have guns. Come to this country, you don't speak English, go home. Give you a ticket. You see, government and corporations destroyed the finest transportation system in the world here in Southern California at one time. It was the benchmark for transportation in a huge megalopolis suburban square mile area. It was the benchmark. They came from all around the world. But the corporations, oil, rubber, automobile, joined forces with the political enterprises to get rid of that and create freeways, and only gave us 3/4 of the freeways and denied us 6 freeways we should have got here. It was government that allowed this city to expand like wildfire, like it has. Corporations, government, when they get together, watch out. Because they're not watching out for you. So we have this presidential election going on. www.thepowervoices.com. Jesse Terrero's The Jesse T Show, live at 5 right here. You're straight on the point with me. It's the world according to Terrero. You go to our app, download the app for your Android and your Apple phone. Download that app. You can get to us all the way around 24/7. You'll find all kinds of goodies in there about everybody. And I'm not going to tell you about the pictures with me with a donkey. It wasn't me. It was a mule. It wasn't a donkey. It was a mule. Okay? So get it straight. There weren't any pictures with me and a mule. What do you think? This is a Clint Eastwood movie? No, there weren't any pictures with me and a mule. There were probably some pictures up there with me, 2 breastises from El Pollo Loco, a left breastis and a right breastis. I don't know why I like saying it that way, but I always have. I don't know. Anyway, go to our app. There's a whole bunch of great shows on here. A whole bunch of great shows at thepowervoices.com. Lee Michaels, Lee Baby Michaels, baby, Lee Baby Michaels, who got his hair cut and didn't ask me to go get my hair cut and gave me the guy's card, so I got to make my own appointment by myself. And I thought we were going to have some bonding. I thought we were going to have some male bonding and talk about sports and talk about politics and maybe go to the Venice Beach and watch the boys in the pit lift weights and check out some girls and have some hot dogs and a hamburger. I thought we were going to have a great day of it, you know. And what I find out, I'm soloing it again.
I'll meet you at the beach.
Oh, you will?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. We can have a hamburger, a hot dog?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
that's good for me.
A girl watching.
I'm a girl watcher.
Doom, doom,
I'm a girl watcher.
Boom, boom,
I watch them go by.
That's the only thing I can play on the bass.
Bye.
Boom, ba-doom, ba-doom, boom.
I love that song. What a great song. So, anyway, let's look at this political race going on real quick here. I'm trying not to talk about this stuff. I really am trying not to talk about this stuff. I'm tired of talking about this stuff already. All right already. You like that one? That's an old one. All right already. I'm tired of it. But I'm going to talk about it. You know why? Because I have to talk about it. You know why I have to talk about it? Because I'm compelled to talk about it, especially when they start telling half-truths. Oh, you say, Jesse, half truth? Yeah, how about Michelle Obama? Oh, Michelle Obama, ba-bam, bam, ba-bam, bam, ba-bama. Oh, Michelle Obama, ba-bam, bam, ba-bam, bam, ba-mama. Ma-mama, ba-bam, bam, ba-bam, bam, ma-mama. Ba-bam, 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 bam, ba-bam, bam. It sounds like a doo-wop song. Yeah. Remember that speech? Yeah. Slaves built the White House. Well, let me spread some word on that just for a second. Okay? There's a lot of truth about that. Absolutely. She was 100% historically right on the button. No denying that. Dun da da, dun da dun da da, dun da da, dun da dun da da, dun dun da da, dun da dun da dun da da. These are the stories of the men and women of the Los Angeles Police Department. What you're about to see and hear is a story that is true, but the names have been changed to protect the innocent. My name is Friday, Joe Friday, working day watch out of the Metropolitan Division. We had a 459 that we went out to. That's my partner, Lee. Remember that? Dragnet? The facts, ma'am. Just the facts. Just want the facts, ma'am. Just the facts. Okay, well, here's the facts. Here's the truth about whether the White House was built by slaves. It was built by slaves. Okay? There's no doubt about that. It was built by slaves. Okay? She's right. But Michelle Obama, with this controversial claim that it was only built by slaves, that it was built by slaves, but not everybody else. She conveniently left out the White House was built by racially diverse group of people. Okay? It was a racially diverse group of people. Gee, it sounds like they may have put posters up and said, hey, we need a construction crew to help us build this thing called the White House. And if you want a job, come on down to the site and bring your hammer and the skills that you have, okay? Because we're asking for everybody who's white and Asian and black and free men and slaves. Everybody of the time built the White House. Why didn't she put that in there? Why wasn't that put in there? You know, that kind of stuff drives me insane. If you're going to tell the story, tell the whole story. Tell all of the story and let the story fall where it's going to fall and people make their own choice and their own story and do their own research. But just don't leave all the other particulars out. These were all immigrants of the time. Everybody in America was a friggin' immigrant. Most of them were first generation. Okay? It was a diverse group of immigrant and local workers that included slaves. Absolutely right. It included free men. It included Irish. It included Asians. It included Polish. It included everybody who wanted to work on a job and got the gig. So tell me the whole story. What year was that? Pardon me? What year was that? Long time ago. It was a long time ago. Actually, the plans for the White House and the plans for the Washington, D.C. area were laid down right after Washington. Washington got together and they were laying down the architectural plans for this. And there was a Frenchman who actually was the guy who built the way the Washington, D.C. is laid out and where the monuments were going to be.
No, it's not accurate.
And where
It was a black man.
Well, then it was a black man. Okay? I got no problem with that.
That's the story I was told when I lived in D.C.
Well,
the guy that laid out the streets and all of that.
Well, the French guy also laid out the streets. So maybe he was a French black man.
Frenchman. Yeah, he could have been.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he was.
What was his name? I'm trying to remember.
I can't remember his name, but it's very synonymous because he was the one that laid it out in a Masonic way.
Right.
With Masonic symbology in the way the land was laid out.
Which is the most difficult city for me in America to navigate in. D.C.
Well, once you get in the circle inside.
I never get out. I spent 3 weeks in the circle.
Yeah, you forget it. Okay. So the point is, there were all kinds of diverse people that were there working and laying out the plans over a number of years to build this thing called the White House. Just tell me the whole story, please. That's all I want to know. I want to know the whole story if you're going to say something and you're the president's wife. Okay? That's the important thing. And it also shows that slaves were actually paid for their work. Yeah. So you see, if you're going to represent something the proper way. Okay? That's the important thing. I don't care who it is. Represent in the important way.
Pierre Peter Charles.
Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah, a Frenchman. He laid it out. He was born in France. He was not born in America. And he fought in the Revolutionary War. So that puts it around 1780, 1750, 1740, 1730, when the plans were actually being put together.
Let's see here.
1810.
District of Columbia was created and served
1810.
Permanent national capital in 1790.
Okay.
And the city was founded in 1791.
Okay.
According to this information on Wikipedia.
And Wikipedia we like. Okay, now let's get to this guy, Khan. Let's get to this guy, Khan. Khan. I think of Star Trek, The Wrath of Khan. You know? I just do. I don't know why. I think of Genghis Khan. They think they found Genghis Khan's burial site, too. I was reading a recent article. They think they found the burial site. They're qualifying that now through DNA strains and all the scientists. That's going to take a couple of years to get through all that stuff. But they think they actually found Genghis Khan's burial site. Anyhow, let's look at this guy, Khan. Let's find out a little bit about him. That person, okay? Let's dig behind the story a little bit. I'm not even going to talk about the death of his son, because the death of his son is the most horrendous thing when you lose a child. And I look at the pain and the agony, I do not know. Nobody can know until it happens to them. No one knows. I do know this. It's a horrible, horrible, horrible thing. And if you have no compassion and empathy for a family that's lost somebody in the battle, defending the country that they defended for whatever reasons, then you have a challenge. I got a challenge with you. But the reality of who these people are is vastly different, or it's a half-truth that we got from the DNC. Okay? Now, the reason why I say that is because Khan, I'm just going to go by his last name because I can't pronounce the other two too well. It's just too mixed up. My mouth and tongue just will get wrapped around it. But Khan is a lawyer. And he went to law school, not in this country. He went to law school in Punjab University Law College. Okay? And he graduated from there, according to the New York Times. He specialized in international trade law in Saudi Arabia. They give a lot of money to the Clinton Foundation. Lots of money. An interest lawyer for Islamic oil companies, Khan wrote a paper called In Defense of OPEC to defend the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, an intergovernmental oil company consisting of mainly Islamic countries. Now, I read that paper. You can read the whole thing. It's very interesting to read what he wrote. Okay? More than this, Khan is a promoter of Islamic Sharia law in the U.S. He was a co-founder of the Journal of Contemporary Issues in Muslim Law, Islamic Sharia law. Khan's fascination with Islamic Sharia stems from his life in Saudi Arabia. During the 80s, Khan wrote a paper titled Juristic Classifications of Islamic and Sharia Law. In it, he educated was educated on the system of Sharia law, expressing the reverence for the Sunnah works of Muhammad. Now, I didn't pronounce that correctly. Authentic tradition of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. A snapshot of his essay can be seen here in this article that I'm reading from. Now, essentially, this guy is a Sharia law dude. And that is complete contrast to American law. In fact, according to the Quran, Sharia law is the supreme law. And according to Khan, he believes that Sharia law should be dealt with in the original form that Muhammad created for his followers. Okay? Well, if any of that is similar to what we've seen in the last couple of years from these psychopathic, crazy killers, wow. And the kind of statements that you hear. Now, what does that have to do with anything? It has nothing to do with his son dying. Nothing to do with that. But what it has to do with the DNC running this guy out here who believes in Sharia law. He has a whole undercurrent of ideology going on that we are never told about, that runs his life. Why didn't his wife speak? They said, well, because she was too much in pain. Rightfully so. I would be. I couldn't get through that. I'd be a blubbering mess of water. But under Sharia law, the male runs everything. Why don't we ever find out the whole story before they pronounce these guys and gals up on stage? Why is it that it's always something that's found out later on? Because they're hiding something. We never know the whole story. Just like here in Los Angeles, when they took the famous great red and green car transportation system from us and gave us freeways. We don't know why we got freeways until we figured it out. Oil companies, car companies, and rubber companies in cahoots with government. That's why we got freeways. Money, power, control. Money, power, control. Money, power, control. Money, power, control. Khan, money, power, control. Arabia, money, power, control. Money, power, DNC, Clinton Foundation. Money, power, control. Power, control. Clinton Foundation. And they're complaining about Trump and his stupid mouth. It's a distraction, folks. It's a friggin' distraction. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of Trump. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of Hillary, lying, dying Clinton. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of them both. Strip the illusions away. Let's see what they're really about. This folk mythology thing that they put, I felt like I was in the friggin' Wizard of Oz watching the DNC. The RNC, I felt like the world was going to end. You know, I thought, man, I better get my AR-15 out and walk outside my house. Where are they? Where are they? Where are they coming from? It's all just a grand illusion to get your vote for power and control. Shame on those Republicans for leaving Donald Trump like that. Yet they force him to do the vow that he won't start a third party. Hypocrisy running deep. People say to me, oh, it's just politics. It's just politics. You know what it is? It's poo-poo politics. We should be better than that. Let's talk about the issues of our starving children in this country. Let's talk about the issues of our vets not getting their due respect and the honor and the help they need. Let's talk about the issues of the death of young people, black, white, brown, and Asian in this country. Let's talk about our poor educational system. Let's talk about what has happened to our understanding of God. Let's talk about why they burn the flag. Let's talk about the important things. Let's talk about our border in a certain and educated way. Let's talk about world economics and what we're going to do when China takes us over by 2025 militarily, which means economically, because they will control the sea lanes, just like the Moors, after Rome fell, controlled the Mediterranean and became the conquerors of the Mediterranean. He who controls the sea lanes controls the world. It's called maritime law. Let's talk about the difference of common law and maritime law and why the law of the water and the sea is greater than the law of the land. Let's talk about the important things. Let's talk about the lying bastards, rat bastards that just lie and people die. Let's talk about that. Jobs, our recession that's coming, the automobile industry selling less cars, housing is down. Let's talk about that. Why? Let's talk about this fiat Federal Reserve System. Well, we got no money. We got no gold or silver. It's all electronic. They can shut it down. They can militarize it, martial law it immediately, and you'll have nothing anytime they want. Let's talk about these things. That's where we should be voting on the president. www.thepowervoices.com. Jesse Terrero live at 5 right here Monday through Friday. It's the Jesse T Show, straight on the point. You have a great afternoon. I'm on the way to my next destination. Yeah, that's right. We got the live show tonight in the Fabulous Jesse T Show. Until then, I'll talk to you later. Let's talk the talk and make them walk the walk. The Brown Beauty is off duty. See ya.